Yeah, maybe maybe I have split personality disorder or something. But no, there was a phase where I was wanting to like be the gangsta.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Forgive and Forget. My name is Hal Sadi, aka Khalu, and today I have a guest for you. His name is Cristian Laureano. He is a former Marine. He is a real estate agent. He is a podcast host. You can follow him on the Instagrams. It is at Cristian, Cristian number one, Laureano, Laureano. So at Instagram, it's in the show notes. Then his other, his podcast, blah 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 blah. His podcast handle is podcast underscore unplugged, and his podcast is on Spotify, and it's a great podcast. He's had me on as a guest. So if you would like to listen to an interview about me, which, I don't know how you're not tired of me, but I get it. I'm very lovable, people. Anyway, back to Cristian over here, okay? He is a lovely person. I met him actually at a Tony Robbins event last year, and he's a great dude. And please welcome Cristian to the show. Pew! What's up, everybody? This is my buddy Cristian Laureano. He is a former Marine, a real estate agent, and podcast host. He actually had me on his podcast. What was the name of your podcast, buddy?
Unplugged.
Where can you find that?
It's on Spotify.
Spotify. Okay, so hit it up on Spotify. This is my buddy Cristian Laureano. Welcome to the show, dude. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing good, man. Just been traveling and moving to a new house, so it's been pretty busy. Start of the year, this 2022, but I'm excited to be here.
When did you move into the house, dude?
So I moved. I actually bought it early January, but since I had to go to Mexico due to some like family emergency, I didn't move until this past like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you're just settling in then.
Yeah, I'm just settling in.
Okay, nice, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up, dude?
So I grew up in Chicago/Wisconsin. Around when I was like, so I live in Chicago now, and I used to live here up to like third grade, and then in third grade, my family moved to Wisconsin to a town called Delavan. It's like southeastern, small town. A total like cultural shock when I moved, and I lived there like throughout up to like high school, and then after high school, I joined the Marines.
Wow. Okay. So how was do you remember growing up in Chicago before you went to Wisconsin?
Yeah, I remember not vividly, just some things. It's predominantly Hispanic and also Southeastern, so between Hispanic and Black, and yeah, that was just like the normal going to school as a kid, just having the both languages to talk to.
Yeah.
And
Did-
yeah.
Did your parents only talk to you in Spanish, right?
Yes, both my parents only spoke to us in Spanish at home.
What
And
did you have like difficulties like adjusting to like oh, school now everybody speaks English, I don't speak the language, or was it like very intuitive and you're just like right away?
For me, yeah, it was just intuitive. I think before going to school, I'd watch cartoons on TV, and I just I didn't even think twice going to school. It just came, which is like really cool. It just shows how we're capable of like learning so many languages at a young age.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you're like a sponge, right? Anything, you absorb everything.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know I've heard like some schools like teach kids in like different like two different languages.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a thing. I I don't know how many do it, but yeah, well, kids are sponges.
Yeah. What was your favorite memory of Chicago before you moved to Wisconsin?
Well, like I don't know, just going. My favorite memories were like go the school,
Mhm.
but before like the holidays,
Yeah.
like the best days,
Yeah.
where you
Uh,
like have like a Christmas party or something, like a
yeah.
Secret Santa.
Yeah. Do you like snow?
I I actually prefer warm weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sun, and I mean I'm not even big on like snowboarding or skiing. I
Hmm.
never got into it,
Yeah. Cause
but yeah.
yeah, cause like I prefer the warm weather too. But when I was a kid, like my family would always go to like Canada and Michigan, like
Mhm.
back and forth. And but we would always go like in the holidays. So Christmas time and all that sort of stuff, I would love it when there was snow. Everybody else hated it because like they're like snow is like that's what we see all the time. But I grew up in Costa Rica, so I didn't
Mhm.
have snow. So when we would go there, I'm like, oh, snow, it's amazing. But I guess like you have it all when you have it all the time, it's like I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if I would have grown up in Costa Rica or somewhere where it doesn't snow and I see snow, I'd be super excited. And do all like the build a snowman and have a snowball fight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Do you remember the age you guys moved to Wisconsin?
remember being third grade, so I think that's like 12.
Okay. All right. Um, how was Wisconsin for you? Like, was it a big difference coming from Chicago?
Well, it was a smaller town. The population, I think, of Delavan is like 7 to 8,000 people.
Okay.
Um, small town. It was definitely a lot quieter, and you know, I got it took some adjusting, and also going to school and you know being like not that many Mexicans around, so
Mm-hmm.
you know it was different.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Um, yeah. So like 7 to 8,000 people, you said?
Yeah, that's like.
That's around the same amount of people where I live now.
Mhm.
It's interesting to because you lived in Chicago. Were you like in the heart of Chicago or like more of the outskirts growing up?
Well, it's within the city limits. I know that we gotta like buy a city sticker and like the public transportation runs through
Mm-hmm.
here, but I know that it's not as there's other parts of the city that are way more populated than mine. Um, but yeah, I'm technically inside the city. I'm 5 minutes away from the Indiana state line. I'm southeast.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Uh, so like you were pretty much surrounded by people, and then when you moved to that town, was it like, oh wow, there's no one here, or like, or where you had, did you have a bunch of people like in your neighborhood so you barely noticed the difference?
No, it was a lot more quieter. I was used to like cars, the the,
Mhm.
the noise of the city, just yeah, freaking yeah, mostly cars, and there's a lot of car noise out here, and then it was all gone. It was,
Wow.
but
Um,
yeah,
did did you like going to school?
in Wisconsin,
Yeah, in both Wisconsin
yeah,
and Chicago.
yeah, I did. You know, definitely had more, you know, subjects that I had like phases. I think
Mm-hmm.
if I was like there were subjects that interested me, I would excel. But if they didn't, I was the type that just I'm like I could know this, I could learn this, I had the capability, but it just didn't interest me.
Yeah. What was your favorite subject?
I know I had like history was one,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a phase where like I was just killing math. Like I was like the best in my
Nice,
grade at
dude.
math, and and but yeah, just like I was that kind of student. Like I just needed to be interested in it
Yeah.
because it was.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that I I had the capability to learn, but it's just like I see it. I'm like, what's the point?
So
Right.
you and I are kindred spirits that way, because I, unless I was interested, and it was honestly like what made me interested was the teacher. If the teacher was a good teacher, I would pay attention. But if the teacher wasn't a good teacher, I'd be like, all right, now I gotta. Um, but I'm also a history buff. History is one of my favorite things. Um, I wasn't that much of a like I was good at math if the teacher was good, then but I wasn't much of a studier. Uh, so you like
Mhm.
certain subjects. Did you like playing sports?
I in high school, I joined football. I did wrestling. I like more the aspect of just staying active.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I did join sports teams, and I wasn't like the star, but yeah, I was in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
football, wrestling. As a kid, my dad put me into soccer.
yeah. Which one was the one you would enjoy the most?
I actually started liking wrestling more
Yeah.
towards the wrestling. Yeah, it was because I started. I was terrible at the beginning. I was put in as a heavyweight at like 220. I was like 220
Mm-hmm.
Mexican,
Mm-hmm.
5'9", and I was wrestling these big country cornfed people. So I would get you know I would get destroyed probably a lot of them, but eventually I started like learning a couple couple wrestling moves and tossing people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when it got fun. That's like
Okay. You're
okay,
like, oh,
yeah,
I can fight back now.
yeah. That's when it started getting fun, and as the season progressed, getting better conditioning and all that, and yeah, it started getting fun.
How long were you in wrestling?
Probably just junior and senior year.
Okay. Was that around the same time you played football too?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, do you think you're the like what position did you play in football?
I was a defensive lineman.
Do you think like being a defensive lineman, like you could like transfer a little bit of those skills into wrestling or no?
Yeah, yeah, just being explosive. Yeah, the wrestling and football are really good sports that go along with each other. If
Mm-hmm.
I know for like tackling, getting low, and wrestlers are good at tackling. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wish I would have started earlier.
Yeah, I have the same feeling with a lot of things too, man. uh,
Yeah.
when you played soccer, what was that like? Was that a big sport like your family was into, or you weren't really that into it?
Yeah, definitely soccer had more linkage to my culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Watching it on TV on the weekends. Um, having I know my dad was a big soccer fan of the he grew up or Guadalajara,
Mm-hmm.
Chivas de Guadalajara.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, he was a big fan, and that's what I rooted as a kid. So
Yeah.
not so much anymore.
Okay.
Uh, I keep up with football. Um, yeah.
It's funny. Like I grew growing up in Costa Rica, I used to follow the San Jose team, which is called Saprissa, and the owner of the Chivas de Guadalajara, he bought Saprissa for like I think he owned it for like 3 or 4 years. So like there was like this like I guess it was they weren't like I mean they were owned by the same guy, but they didn't have like the same what you call it like I'm forgetting the word right now.
Just
But yeah,
administration.
yeah, like yeah, I mean it was like I don't know. It wasn't the same coaching staff or anything like that, but it was owned by the same guy. But so I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting that like you mentioned that your dad was a big fan of the Chivas. I'm like, oh, that guy owned Saprissa for a while. I don't.
Vergara? What was his name?
Yeah,
Vergara?
Vergara. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't follow Costa Rican soccer anymore because it was like, oh man, it's a lot of stuff going on in there, and I'm like, I can't watch that anymore. But so did you follow Chivas for a while?
Yeah, as a kid, I was a big fan. They won like a championship, and I, saw the players. And right, even today, I'll go watch a game if I'm in Guadalajara ever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Going to the stadium's fun.
yeah, going to the stadium is fun, and yeah, you don't have to keep up with it to go and have fun.
Yeah. Do you remember what position you played?
Soccer?
Mm-hmm.
I was, I was a kid. I think it was just like, just play.
Yeah, just run around behind the ball.
Yeah, I think I tried playing more soccer like in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and they put me like as forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were scoring the goals.
Yeah. I would have if I with it.
So right around the time like in your junior and senior year, you're playing football and you're wrestling. Um, is there like, do you have very fond memories of your high school days?
Yeah, I went to so in Wisconsin, it was Lake Geneva, Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
which is like touristy because they have a lake, and a lot of people from Chicago. It's like 2 hour drive from Chicago. I went to the high school there, and it'd being like a lake town, like that high school was, it had a lot of like extracurricular type classes, like it had a like auto shop class,
Mm-hmm.
culinary class. I had fun in that high school. And then I moved to Delavan, back to Delavan,
Yeah.
and that high school wasn't as loaded with all the like extra classes. It was just mostly just like the basic, you know, the required ones by the state, and then it had like, I don't know, like a farming class,
Mm-hmm.
and like a couple like extra curricular classes, but not like culinary and
Yeah.
cool ones. I
Yeah.
had like at the first high school I went to, they had like a woodworking class. You
Mm-hmm.
could make your own little things. Yeah.
How old were you when you were out of high school?
Which high school?
Completely out of high
Oh,
school.
off out of high school?
Yeah.
It's like 18.
18. So you
Yeah.
you joined the Marines right away?
No, I had like a year.
Okay. What
Yeah.
did you do in that year?
And I just worked like an odd job. I worked at a like vegetable plant, like a vegetable packaging
Mm-hmm.
plant, and yeah, just worked for a bit.
What was that like?
It was nice, a lot of people that are there for like 20 years at the same factory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I started working early too. So, throughout high school, I even had jobs. I worked like KFC. I worked as a busser,
Mm-hmm.
dishwasher. Did a lot of different jobs, and it just yeah, it just gave me a taste of the the like economic,
Responsibility.
responsibility, and so many different type of jobs.
How old were you when you got your first job?
I think I was like 15 when I started at KFC.
Nice, man. You were pretty young.
Yeah, it was growing up first generation immigrant, seeing like my high school like classmates just
Mm-hmm.
you know having nice clothes, or not like I'm like, shit, I gotta work for it. Like my
Mhm.
parents are just, trying to survive basically. So yeah, I had to work.
But do you feel like having to work that early like gave you an appreciation for pretty much everything?
Yeah, I'm sure it gave me some work ethic. It gave me confidence, and that I can do new jobs and learn quickly and adapt. Um, and then joining the military, a lot of the people in the Marines, that's like their technically like first job out of high school.
Yeah.
So like I just I'm like I know what it's like in the real world, I guess in the civilian world, having to work, show up to work on time, and
Mm-hmm.
getting paid hourly and all that. And then so joining the Marines, a lot of people were like disgruntled, and I'm like, this is probably the same you'll find in a real job out in the real world.
Yeah.
It's not as as bad, but yeah, just like I like the Marines. It's definitely different. You get to shoot guns.
Got a bunch of toys.
Yeah, and
Um,
mhm.
what before you joined the Marines, like was there like a something that stands out like in your year, like your transitional year, like you're like, oh, that was cool.
In the transitional year, it was really just trying to get in shape and stay in shape to like be able to qualify. Um,
So you already knew you wanted to join the Marines.
yeah, out of high school, I knew I wanted to join. I just
Mm-hmm.
so I graduated, in June-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once school's out, and then I didn't join. I didn't leave till March of the next year,
Okay.
so I had all that time to just work and stay in shape. But it was all in the works. That's what I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I would go to college for. Um, that's what everybody was like doing. It's like college or military.
Yeah. Did you know you wanted to join the Marines, or was it like, or were you like, oh man, I might like this branch or this branch over here, or it was just like, man, Marines are my place to go.
At first for a bit it was like the Air Force. At first, yeah, it was the Air Force. I'm like, oh, the Air Force, they get all the nice things. They get taken care of, it seems. And then somewhere in between, yeah, I think I was like a junior in high school, but then
Mm-hmm.
like later in my senior year, I'm like, oh, the Marines have that edge. They're like the toughest branch, and all the few, the proud, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just kind of like, oh, what would I benefit the most in the long run? And it felt like, oh, the challenge. I wanted the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
the title, Marine, the
Definitely sounds
adventure.
a lot cooler, Marine, than Airman. No offense to the Air Force, but the Marine sounds a lot cooler.
Yeah, unless you're like a jet fighter pilot,
Yeah,
then you're,
which is
you're just
very
an
cool
airman.
too.
Yeah, then that'd be cool. But if you're just gonna be an airman or a Marine, yeah, yeah. And actually, it's weird because when I was a kid, I had like a little rebel phase where I wanted to be like a gangbanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You're asking me about going to school, and I had like a rebel phase,
Yeah.
and I think really what I wanted was like camaraderie at the time. That's what I was like looking for, like a sense of brotherhood, and you know years later, I joined the Marines, which is like a big
Yeah. Big
gang.
brotherhood. Yeah. um,
Yeah, but they're
what
not.
made what
Yeah.
made you snap out of like wanting to be in a gang?
Um, I just grew out of it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was getting in trouble in school and stuff, and it was Wisconsin, so luckily it was in Chicago.
Yeah.
There's real gangs.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I just eventually like grew out of it. I just like, oh, um, it's not gonna lead anywhere. I know like I got in trouble because I was like underage drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and I got
How old were you?
like in like my freshman year,
Okay.
or no, even might have been even like 8th grade.
Okay. Okay. My first drink was when I was 12, so we're pretty close.
Yeah, yeah. Is it was
Oh,
in Costa Rica?
yeah, dude. It was like a New Year's party. Like we were at the beach, and my cousin and I were like, "Oh man, we should get drunk," because you're 12 years old, you want to be an adult or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
and we were like at an all-inclusive resort, so like you just needed to find someone. Hey, can you get me a drink? And convince the right person, and they'll get you a drink.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if we actually convinced the bartender to give us a drink, or if like we convinced someone else, like, hey man, just get us a drink and we won't say anything. But it was like we got pretty drunk. Like it was probably like 2 or 3 drinks, but when you're that age, like you don't have
Yeah.
you can't
Mm-hmm.
hold your liquor at all, right? So
Yeah.
but dude, you seem like such a nice dude. How like I don't really see like you had like I not that I can't see, but it's like you're such a nice dude and you're so relaxed and so like and then suddenly like you got this rebel phase in you. Like it doesn't like I don't
You don't see
I
it?
couldn't picture that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe maybe I have split personality disorder or something. But no, there was a phase where I was wanted to like be the gangsta.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool because I visited my family in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and there they had like little street gangs that
Okay.
actually like hung out in their little barrio, and like they had their territory, and it just seemed so hip to me,
Yeah.
like so like the culture.
Okay.
Actually, I think that's what it was. Like it's a cool thing, be a gangster and have your gang, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big like yeah. I mean, it was real there, but coming back to Wisconsin, it just didn't. It was weird. I don't know if Costa Rica's like that. Probably in the like
uh
ghettos.
there's a little bit of that, but I guess it depends on who you're hanging around with. Because like I had a few friends that like they were really big soccer fans, and they would go to
Mhm.
like how like each team has their like their main like support
Yeah.
uh and if but the team I'm forgetting the word right now, but like let's call it the team gang, because that's essentially what they were.
Yeah.
Like they'd get in fights over the soccer team, right? Which is like, all right, more power to you, I guess. But like, and
Mm-hmm.
I like if you hung out in those circles, like you could get involved in that real quick. But I pretty much stayed away from stuff like that. I don't know. Like I won't. See. I didn't have that rebel phase in me like that. Like I was a rebel in different ways. And honestly, I wasn't that much of a rebel either.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can easily get involved in that if you were like
Yeah.
seeking it out.
Yeah, I've seen
Um,
that. I've seen that even in Mexico. The soccer, like the ones that are like having the drums and like
yeah, dude.
singing. They're like they'll fight for their team.
Yeah, dude. They literally fight for their team, and like they put graffiti on the walls, and they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so they're like they're the two biggest teams. Their air quote gangs were like the one is the La Doce and the other one's like La Ultra Morada. Like if you're a part of these people, like these groups, man, like just the sight of the other person, like that alone could like set someone off. I'm like, dude, that does not sound like like my hanging ground. So my
Yeah, I actually got in a couple of fights as a teenager with
yeah
older people. Like
yeah
the guy had like in Lake Geneva, the guy had like his hat the like to the left
oh
was like
yeah.
the opposite gang, and yeah, I was a mess.
But it seems
I
like
was young. I was like 13, 14.
yeah, seems like people wouldn't want to mess with you though. Like
Actually, yeah, I looked older for my age. At like 13, 14, I probably looked 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like my body grew fast.
And dude, you look really strong too. So it's like, dude, I don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because then I got really calm. I got involved in church later in life. Like I had that rebel phase, and I think I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna ruin my life if I go down this path. So I had
Yeah.
like the church phase in high school
Yeah.
where I got more passive,
Okay.
like, and then that passivity like kind of followed me in wrestling.
Okay.
I was like the nice, but that I have that edge somewhere in my
It
makeup.
just had to dig it out.
Yeah, I just like put it away though because it wasn't coming out in wrestling, but
Mm-hmm.
it came out in the Marines. Like in the Marines,
Okay.
I kind of like got back that edge, and it's like you I met you at a personal development event,
Mm-hmm.
and what I like see is that we all have these components inside of us. A time in our life where we were this or that we kind of need to summon at different times,
Yeah.
and it's like shit. It's just like a tenacity that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could like burn the whole house down, or
Yeah.
it could light the fire.
Yeah,
It
you can
just
harness it or it can like it can burn you up, right?
yeah, like the fire and stuff, like the elements thing that you know about.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so when you joined the Marines, like how was there like a culture shock for you?
Um, no, it's just a very masculine environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think that I went to boot camp in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Was it
Um,
Pendleton?
no, well, Pendleton is part of it.
Okay.
It's Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San
Okay.
Diego,
Okay.
and then like in one of the months, like 1 month in, you go to Pendleton
Okay.
and you do a month there. You go back to Recruit Depot in the like it's like right by the airport. It's by the
Okay.
San Diego airport. I think if you like once you land on San Diego airport, you could see like a sign that says Marine Corps Recruit Depot
Okay.
if
Is it
you're like in the right angle
okay?
of
Is
the
that
airport.
where is 29 Palms? Is that nearby?
It's near Palm Springs,
Okay.
California.
Okay.
An hour and a half.
Okay.
Um, in the Mojave Desert. It's by Joshua Tree National
Okay.
Park.
Okay.
No, that's some people enjoy going to camp there and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah. I've I've been there once. It was pretty. Um what so we did you enjoy going through boot camp?
You know, you get used to it. I I know that it's like a mental thing, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same, I guess the way I looked at it was like hundreds of Marines go through boot camp, or thousands probably in a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a year, a bunch like a thousands of Marines go through that training, make it. I'm like, it's challenging. It's 13 weeks of waking up like once the lights turn on, you know, get out of your bunk and get in line.
Hello, my fellow forgetter. I hope you're enjoying yourself and having a good old dandy day. Now you just sit back and relax while you keep tuning in to Forgive and Forget with Hal Sadi. Oh yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
And it's like 13 weeks of that.
Mm-hmm.
But strangely enough, your body just gets used to it all, which is the cool thing about, I think, our bodies and
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like you can learn a habit, and it becomes easy after a while. You
Yeah.
keep doing it. um you know I got out, and did I like it? It was, looking back on it, it was definitely memorable.
Yeah,
It was.
you
It
will
was.
remember it.
Yeah, I remember it. It's supposed to be challenging and
Mm-hmm.
you know not not like the jokiest or
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, you don't have much time. I don't know. I don't know how to describe boot camp. You don't have much time for yourself, I guess. That's the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. You gotta be in line. It's very
Do they give
disciplined.
you like time to hang out with your fellow recruits, or there's no time for
Every
that?
every day you have like an hour of it's called square away time,
Mm-hmm.
and in that square away time you could like talk and you know, but it is a lot of it's an indoctrination. So
Yeah.
you're learning about the principles of values, and you're drilling Marine Corps drill, um, and you're not supposed to talk like while you're doing all the drilling, and
Mm-hmm.
you're actually doing a lot of cleaning too. This is like a big discipline indoctrination thing.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess like joining a fraternity.
Okay.
You know how the new I don't know what they're called, but the new people in the fraternity like they gotta like do
Oh,
people's laundry.
I think they're recruits, right?
Well, I guess they're in college. I don't know. If they call them recruits, initiates, or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's probably nothing. It's not like a
Oh,
whole months of it.
oh, dude, it's not gonna compare at all.
Yeah,
They just get hazed a little bit, and that's about it.
yeah, a lot of drinking,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Marine Corps boot camp. It's hazing of with your body and doing jumping jacks
It's
and
like a
push-ups.
24-hour hazing, right?
Yeah, they would call it IT. If you fuck up, I guess you would get IT'd.
Okay.
Intensive training. I guess that's what it stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you'd go to like a pit or the what is it called, the quarter deck, and
Mm-hmm.
just start doing push-ups. What is it called? They had different names, side straddle hops, but it's
Yeah.
jumping jacks. There we go.
Okay.
And like these 4 different exercises, and then the drill instructor would call them out, and you have to do them. Like if he calls them out, you have to repeat it out loud and then do them.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is like using your voice and communicating
Yeah.
and like making sure you get what they're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, After boot camp, I've heard it changes, but I mean, I've never been through. So, how different is it from like being through going through boot camp, and then once you get out, like what the experience? How different is it?
Well, after boot camp, you never go through anything like that ever again in your career in the military, but you are expected to, um, follow like the common courtesy
Mm-hmm.
principles, which are like if you depending on your rank, you have to like stand at parade rest when talking to like a superior
Mm-hmm.
or like a higher rank, or you gotta address them by their rank.
Yeah.
You gotta like salute officers if you see them. If they're like a certain rank and above, you gotta like literally call out that they're inside, or like say attention on deck.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but if when you're in the lower ranks, you're expected to follow it a lot more.
Okay.
But then it starts getting more relaxed as you progress. But it is that environment, that is the culture inside the military. Giving the proper greeting of the day, which it's like if it's a sergeant, you say good morning, sergeant, and you're expected to say it. You can't just like walk past somebody and not
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge their existence.
Yeah.
That's so if you go into like a military base and you go to like to the store, like their PX, it's called post exchange.
Mm-hmm.
You probably like see if you're in uniform, if you're in civilian attire, then you just act like a civilian and nobody knows
Okay.
your rank. Nobody,
Okay.
I mean, unless they directly work with you and you see them out and about, then you're like expected to say, "Hey, good afternoon, gunnery sergeant."
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know them, you just kind of like um, I don't know, just sneak by.
Yeah.
But that's what it's like inside the military base.
What was your MOS?
Military police.
Military police. Okay. How
Yeah,
long did you do that for?
I did that for like after boot camp. I went to the military police school and um, which was like 3 years and like 8 months
Okay.
after
Wow.
training. After training, so the whole contract for me was 4 years.
4 years. Okay. Did you enjoy the military police?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Um, I It has two sides. When I was in, I don't know, it still has two sides. The first side it's like the regular what you would expect the like your local police to be
Mm-hmm.
for the base. I guess it's the base's police force. Patrolling the streets,
Mm-hmm.
doing traffic stops, or responding to um, domestic calls or have you, whatever you have. But
Yeah.
most military bases, because the population is mostly military, are pretty quiet and
Mm-hmm.
aren't crime infested.
Yeah.
But the second side of the military police is like the going on to a combat zone side, which is like the flag jacket, Kevlar,
Mm-hmm.
machine guns,
Yeah.
Humvees, tactical vehicles. It's like the one that's ready to like deploy, and that one, that's what you train up to, like deployments and working alongside, um, allies,
Mm-hmm.
and like pretty much they do field forensics, they do canine, um, which is like um, they do control point
Mm-hmm.
training. That's what military police would do in a
Okay.
in a combat zone. Um, you know, uh, detainee operations. What else they do? Yeah, a little control. Yeah, did I say that? Control points.
Yeah. Did did they have you do both of them, or did you focus
Yeah, I
mostly
did.
on one? Yeah.
I did 2 years in the field side. It's called, and that's the we're training and out in the out in the field,
Mm-hmm.
literally. Which was I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that more than
Yeah.
the like base police
Okay.
badge.
I guess it's more, let's call it eventful.
Yeah, it could be. It could have been more eventful if I would have deployed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see combat or combat zone, so
Okay.
I'm fortunate, right? I
Yeah.
think, you know,
Yeah. Where did they have you do all of that? Was all of that in San Diego?
the field unit was in Okinawa, Japan.
Okay, now. Okay, wow. Okay, so you
Yeah,
spent 2 years in Japan.
yeah, Okinawa. It's
How'd you like that?
I loved it. It's like Okinawa. It's like their Hawaii for them, which
Mm-hmm.
is like beaches everywhere. There was like a curfew imposed on on us as Marines, as military. We weren't allowed off base like after midnight, and like if you were like under a certain rank,
Mm-hmm.
you had to be out in town with like another person, another Marine.
Okay. Yeah, like Marines are like you're supposed to do everything with a buddy, right? From what I've heard.
Well, yeah, it doesn't hurt, I guess. What do you mean by that? Like,
Because
what do you
from what
think?
I've heard, like even if you go, well, I guess it's different if you're on base, but like from what I've heard, right? I've only like listened to podcasts and stuff like that from, but it's like if you're out in the field, like if you have to go to the bathroom, you need a buddy to go with you, like to like watch your six or whatever, and things like that. Like you always have to have someone to like give you support.
Definitely. You're trained to, you know, have accountability. I
Mm-hmm.
guess, you know, definitely. That's Fireteam. Yeah, so you would have to go out face with the battle buddy. Um, at least that was the case when I was there. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Things probably change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Marines probably now. Last time I heard, they were allowed to
Yeah.
go off base on their own, but I'm sure there's restrictions. They don't want Marines getting in trouble with like the local
Yeah.
Japanese people
Mm-hmm.
because they are there as visitors, really, on foreign land. I mean, after World War II, I mean the U.S. became Japan's like security force
Yeah.
because they're well, at least their military was disbanded, but they do have like maybe like a security force in case of
Mm-hmm.
something, but they don't have a military. So
Okay.
I know like the U.S. That's what the U.S. is doing there
Mm.
for the most part. I don't know that they probably have a lot of secret confidential things that I don't
Yeah.
fucking know about. They have their hands in, but
Yeah.
I know that Japan doesn't have military itself.
Did you have to learn Japanese while you were there?
No, I didn't have to learn it, but I did pick up like the small words like thank you
Mm-hmm.
was arigato, gozaimasu, and good morning, um, small words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Did
yeah.
when you were on leave, did you get to explore or you pretty much just hung around the base?
Well, yeah, when we were on leave, or even on a long weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to like Tokyo.
Nice. How was that?
Tokyo was fun. It's city. I went there like in the cold time. It was like New Year's and Thanksgiving that we had like long weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Tokyo, what I really liked about it was that their subway just can get you all over the city.
Okay.
You don't have to like yeah, we did take a couple taxis, but like subway was so easy to get around and like inexpensive. And yeah, just clean. I love like the cleanliness of
Mm-hmm.
it being such a big city, and just the people were so courteous, um, and just yeah, different than America for sure. Than American big cities.
Yeah.
In America, well, it just you didn't see a lot of like tension and
Mm-hmm.
like passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Maybe I mean, granted, I was there only a weekend, right?
Yeah, it's
No, but really clean and they were really courteous of each other.
mm-hmm. um is are there because are the signs I've never been to Japan, so are the signs like do they have like in English translations or is it all just Japanese kanji, I think it's called, uh
Mhm.
and like so how do you get around with that?
Yes, they're like probably in like the subways,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like the tourist parts. There was English, but
Okay.
mostly it was just our cell phones.
Okay. Just Google Maps or
Group of
something like
guys,
that.
yeah, like Google really got us around. The like literal tourist parts, like Shibuya, was like where where it's like their Times Square looking
Mm-hmm.
thing
Yeah.
of Tokyo. That was like the popular part, and then like the night scene part. I forgot the name, but there's like a lot of bars,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to like the big shopping center where they have the Gundam like statue.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Tokyo Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice.
Did um oh geez, I had a question, I forgot. Anyway, are you a big Disney fan or not really?
Yeah, Disney's fun to watch. Um, I'm not like the biggest like hardcore like Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse, but yeah, I'll watch a Disney movie. They're very happy ending type and
Mm-hmm.
good feely.
Okay. I remember what I was going to ask you. So do you have to go out with your uniform, or were you able, or were you allowed to go like without, like, just civilian clothes?
Civilian clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, civilian clothes. They want you to go out in civilian clothes more than
So
you know.
you already stand out just
Yeah.
because you're
Well,
not
yeah,
Japanese.
security or safety, and yeah, yeah. I would have hated to go out in uniform. Didn't everybody like knows I'm a Marine, and like I don't want to get picked on my free time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
um. So you were in Japan for 2 years, right?
yeah.
And so when you came back from Japan, were you done with your service, or did you still had like some time to left to serve?
So yeah, after 29, I mean, after Japan, it was 29 palms for like the extra year,
Okay. How was that?
couple months. It was yeah, that was different. It's you know, yeah, 29 palms is just a lot of desert. Um, it's like an hour away from Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. That was totally different than a tropical island where people go to vacation.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's going on vacation in
Completely
desert.
different vibe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, dude, I remember when I lived in LA, I was looking for houses all over the place, and we were looking, we look for lots and stuff like that, and all the time I'd see these lots in 29 Palms are like a couple 8 acres large and stuff like, and they're like 20 grand. I'm like, why are these lots so cheap? And then I looked it up, I'm like, oh, because there's a Marine base like right around the corner. So like you're just gonna be hearing like, you know, weapons all the time, and like explosions from like people training and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, and it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like a big, uh, you enjoy Japan, then you get there, it's like, this is not my thing.
Yeah, definitely different. I'm like, shit, I wish one of my friends from that I was stationed in Japan with,
Mm-hmm.
he got a station in San Diego,
Okay.
Miramar,
Uh,
and I would visit him. I'm like, two different complete worlds.
oh man, so you don't even get, so they just like, you don't get to pick where you go.
They have a like a wish list thing. You could
Mm-hmm.
like suggest where you would wish to go, and if you're lucky,
You
and
actually
if
get to
they
go
people
there.
need, yeah, and if they need your MOS there, then sure, we'll go. But I didn't do that.
Where did you wish to go at the time?
I'll probably San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego. I know. Yeah, if you're stationed as a Marine there, you get housing and you just got to live in Southern California, which is like
Nice.
everybody wants to live.
Yeah, dude, San Diego is awesome. I love it there.
The weather, yeah, definitely.
Um, so how long ago did you get out of the military?
2019.
2019. So you've been out almost 3 years now.
Yeah, almost
Okay.
3 years.
What what did you want to do when you got out?
Well, entrepreneurship. Just wanted
Yeah.
to, work for myself and be my own boss, and did start doing real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and that's what I'm doing now.
Okay. How do you like doing the real estate stuff?
I enjoy it. It's definitely you can be creative, and there's so many ways to um like learn and like ways to make money in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of like the best things to invest in because of just the way the laws are set up here in the United States. There's so many like tax like options to like
Mm-hmm.
save more most of your money that you make off of the real estate purchase. And um definitely, real estate historically just always goes up in value.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did like dabble with like Amazon. Like I wanted to, for a time, I wanted to like sell on Amazon, and that's killing it, too. But it's like, yeah, it's more of a, you're gonna be I feel like a lot more hands on,
Yeah.
um, than just real estate. Real estate is just, in my opinion, it's gonna. Oh, people are always gonna need a place to live, and
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, the Amazon FBA, um, you know, that's probably something good too.
That's funny, man, because like me and my cousin were trying to set up an FBA store. It's funny
Mhm.
you mentioned that. How long did you do that for?
The FBA thing was like probably like 6 months.
You didn't like
Uh,
it much?
no, no, I didn't really even start. I was just
Okay.
I did like I got like the search. It was Sonbase
Mm-hmm.
platform where you like see what's selling,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole goal was, right, to like see what's selling, and then what I can like buy in China and then sell it myself on Amazon.
Yeah.
That's making like 7 to 10K a month,
Yeah.
right? And then so it's not like as big where I'm gonna have a lot of competition,
Yeah.
um, from people who have like, who know, like it's a good business, but yeah, yeah, I didn't really like start it though.
Okay. Um, and so you started doing podcasting like in November, correct?
Yeah,
How have you been liking doing that?
I enjoy it. I enjoy having these kind of conversations, and
Mm-hmm.
getting to know people, and different walks of life, different perspectives. Well, mostly, yeah, I've interviewed people who are like in the personal development space, and um about spirituality and getting ahead and
Mm-hmm.
moving forward, and not not being a victim,
Mm-hmm.
like having that like victim mentality, and
Yeah.
definitely, um I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and I know you've said like it's consistency, and which is like just keep doing it.
Yeah, dude. That's all.
Mhm.
That's all it is. Is like you get consistent, and then you apply a little different. Like we can talk off air after, like oh, like because I've been learning a bunch of stuff in terms of like marketing and stuff like that. So we can talk about that a little bit later, and then we can like trade ideas and stuff like that. But the main thing is consistency, right? Because like the best way to get good is by doing it, and the more you do it, the better you get. So it's just a little process, right? Because I've been doing this for about I honestly don't remember how long, but it's like I think it's like 4 or 5 years now.
Mm.
And if you listen to my first episodes, they are horrible. Like I'm not saying the ones I'm making right now are great. I will say the ones when I interview people, I feel really great about because I'm really good at that. But the other ones, like you can tell, like I'm a million times better than I used to be. Like
Mhm.
it's ridiculous. So just consistency is the biggest thing, and then have fun
Mhm.
with it, right? Like that's the other part of it. Um,
Yeah.
dude, where can people find you? Like,
Well, I am on Unplugged on Spotify. I also have the Unplugged podcast on Instagram,
mm-hmm.
and at Cristian Laureano
Okay,
on Instagram.
all right. And anything else you'd like to say?
Well, thank you very much for having me on here. I just want to say, times are changing, and I think the future is bright. Definitely.
I agree.
Uh, the you know, everybody should be doing what they love, what they're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
and make money from what they're passionate about. Um, and give your loved ones a big hug at night.
Yeah, dude.
Or always spend the quality time, because you never know when it could be somebody's last.
I know, bro. I know. Dude, thank you for coming on, man. It was a blast having you on. And we'll keep in touch. And I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Talk to you later, Cal.
That is it for the podcast, people. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe. And if you would like to follow my shenanigans on the interwebs, I am at Khalu2 on Instagram, Khalu, the number 2, and Khalu.vision on TikTok, Khalu.vision. And if you would like to support this podcast, well, do I have a deal for you? Would you like to be an entrepreneur? Are you an entrepreneur? Would you like to sell your products on the webs? Would you like to sell your services on the webs? Well, there is a way for you to do it that's very streamlined. And you can look, you can sell your products or services online in just 30 days, okay? This is called the One Funnel Away Challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. And that can get you the business and funnel building results you're looking for faster, okay? And that means a challenge designed to help get you more leads, more customers, more exposure, more sales, more revenue. I mean, I think if you like money, this is a great way to go. So if you're looking to accelerate your business growth online and get personal hands-on training to create your first or next online business or funnel, this is where you go. You go to linktree/Khalu2. You click on the button that says Support Podcast -OFA, stands for One Funnel Away. And if you sign up through there, 100% of the proceeds come to this podcast. And you get to do this challenge. It's a 30-day challenge. Every day you learn something new. You build the funnel day by day. And it's a great way to sell your product. And what is a funnel, you ask? So a sales funnel is pretty much a landing page streamlined to have one page with your sales copy, your sales video, all the information about your product, all in one page, and it makes it easy. Okay, it makes it easy, and you can build your business online with this. Like I've already, I don't know what's going on with my voice over here, but I went through the challenge. It was great. I've learned so much, and you can learn so much too. And by doing that, you support the podcast. 100% of the proceeds come to support the podcast. So again, go to linktree/Khalu2. Click on the button that says Support Podcast -OFA. And if you sign up, you learn how to build a sales funnel. You can sell your product or your services, and you win, and we win because you're supporting us. All right, that's it for the podcast today, people. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Boo! Be-de-be. Ba-ba-de-ba-be. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.